Hi guys, Jason with thew, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel and welcome to the Takomo 101T irons review. Now, Takomo are a direct-to-consumer brand, so basically direct-to-consumer means you buy them direct from the manufacturer as the consumer. These are the 101Ts, which are the players' distance irons. They have the 101s, which are the game improvement ones. I think the 201s, which are the players' side of things, and then the 301s, which are really so the players' side of things. So these are the players' distance, which means they are hollow bodied. They're 431 stainless, I think they are. I mean, they say there's got lots of tech in here. However, when you look at the Takomo website, they don't really go into too much detail about exactly how much tech is in here. We do know they're hollow bodied, and we do have a tungsten, or we do have at least a screw at the side, which generally speaking, that's the port of where they inject some things inside to quieten a hollow head down. Let's go get this on a hole. Let's go hit it a load of times. Let's go start with the pitching wedge first. Work my way up to the 5-iron. Remember guys, right at the end, I will be doing my same forgiveness testing that I always do, whacking these all around the face and see how forgiving they are, because again, we don't hit the middle every single time. So we need to know how these direct-to-consumer manufacturer irons perform, not just out the middle, but when you whack it all over the face. Simulator is now on. We are at Crosswater Golf Club, hole 7. It's a par 3 of 123 yards, and as you can see, it's been horseshoed by water all the way around the back. The pin position is right at the back, and I think we've got about 5 yards, maybe 6, either side of that pin before we run into the nasty stuff. So I've got the pitching wedge in hand here, and it's just lovely looking and clean. You've got just a plain back, medium thickness sole, relatively thin top line. I mean, it's not a massively chunky top line, and down by the golf ball, it has that more of a squatty look to it, which is, I mean, it's got plenty enough real estate for people to feel confident, but it's not so big that you're going to put the players off. Now this is 46 degrees. Now 46 degrees is more so what you would see now as a traditionally lofted pitching wedge. Again, traditions change, and I can remember many things being a lot different to what they are now. But when you go into the 7-iron, which we'll go to next, that's 32, and it's transitioning into more of a modern loft. Not crank loft, not strong loft. These are not, I mean, Takomo have resisted just going crazy and cranking the living daylights out of these to try and win the distance game. They're trying to be a bit more honest with the golfer and actually trying to give them loft gappings, which is going to suit what they need for the speed of golfer that they're aimed at. And again, we'll give it a hit and see how it feels. Decent. It's 431 stainless steel, so it's not going to feel lovely and soft, no. But decent strike, path slightly from the inside, that's why it's just basically stayed slightly right, 3 yards right, it's nothing whatsoever. But 123 yards, 34 yards in the air, 53 degrees descent angle, doing blooming lovely. I mean, it's pitching wedge and it's spinning at 8.8, which is absolutely fine. It's just doing a really, really good job. Now, is it like massively soft? No. For the people who care about feel, I'm a blade player, so I like the feel side of things, and these are well into the medium category. The 431 stainless isn't the softest, but by far it's not the hardest out there. Some manufacturers in the past have made their golf clubs from pig iron, which make them sound distinctly higher pitch and cracky and stuff like that. But there you go, that's the subjectivity over. Let's get back to hitting golf balls. Now, when I do the test, I'm going to be hitting all different speeds and stuff like this. It's just good. It really is just nice. I'll hit the last one, try and dial the speed down a little bit. So that's 86, 87 miles an hour is my normal for a pitching wedge, give or take 88 maybe, fully warmed up. Right, let's go dumb it right down. Apologies for the delivery, because I'm not generally speaking that good at being able to do it off the cuff. .7 miles an hour. The only thing you've lost there is distance. That's normal. And then when it comes to the full-on test, what I'll do is I'll be hitting different clubs at different speeds, and I'll pop it on the screen there so you can see what differences happen when you're looking at hitting different parts of the face and also taking speed off and then ramping speed up. So, right, pitching wedge, just exactly as we thought, does exactly what we think it should do for whatever speed of swing you have. Right, let's go over to the 7-iron and see. Let's go drum the old pin back to 160 or so yards. And let's go see how the 7-iron feels. Right, 7-iron in hand, 32 degrees of loft. So 46 degrees of loft for a pitching wedge, then you've got some 5-degree gaps and it goes into 4s and it goes into 3s. Now what I like about the fact that how these are loft gapped is the fact that it enables a larger range of golfers to be able to use it. I think I could definitely use this in the longer irons, the ones that's going to have a little bit more help from the lower, further back centre of gravity, the springy face and kind of like the 5 and 6 irons. The 7-iron looks exactly the same as the pitching wedge, just with less loft. You've still got all the exact same looks on there, just lovely and plain on the back. Sole thickness is lovely and medium. It's nothing huge and ugly looking. Top line again, I wouldn't say it's thin, it's medium to thin. But blade lengths are just nice, offset is good, down by the golf ball, it just looks really nice. It is one of my favourite irons for a direct-to-consumer manufacturer, looks-wise, absolutely. Right, let's go give it a hit. I've dropped the old tee back to 160 yards. I'm not gonna swing full out, 32 degrees. 7-iron for me, normal speed will go approximately about 172 yards carry, give or take 174. So let's just dumb it down a little bit and see how it does. It's a solid hit, 82 miles an hour, 153 yards carry, rolling towards the pin. Go on, carry on. Good strike. Path slightly from the inside, face basically 0 to it. That's why it started out to the right. I mean, it came in with the green. 31 yards in the air, 47 degrees descent angle. That is working at 82 miles an hour. It's just doing really, really well. The feeling, very much like pitching wedge, it is a confidence-inspiring punch. It's not soft, but it won't be with 431 stainless. It's a hollow-bodied 431. But then it's also not going to be hugely loud. So it's trying to capture that middle bracket of golfer. So 82 miles an hour. Let's see if we can dumb it down a bit more. Cool, this is where strike and everything's going to go out the window. Yeah, it was Healy and shut. Gone to the fat part of the green. That's the safe way. But as you can see, wow, there you go, 19 mil heel. That's what happens when you really dumb speed down. Or does me anyway. But that's, again, that's 41 degrees descent angle. That's still stopped. I mean, it was a terrible shot, but it's still working. That's 78 miles an hour, carrying 140 yards. We'll do it again for a bit of fun. But it's still working from a 19mm heel strike. Like, any more, and we're getting dangerously close to the Hosel Roque, which is never fun to see. Right, let's go do it again, nice and slow. 77.4, just saw that on quad, and I didn't. That's what happens when you start taking speed away. You're just going to take distance off. 1.35 efficiency, good. 25 yards in the air, 43 degrees descent angle. So if that's stopping on a green rather than hitting it in the rough, that is still stopping. That's working really well for a 77 miles an hour swing. So you could easily play these at 77. Now, 43 degrees, you are going to look at potentially 6 irons going to be your last iron if you're like that kind of speed. If you're slightly faster and you can get away, well, obviously you'll transition at 5-iron or even 4-iron if you really want to go whole hog. So slightly heely, normal speed. Oh. Yep. Was slightly heely again, messing around doing different swing speeds. But 5mm low, 10mm heel, so yeah, distinctly heely. But path and face are very, very good. Swing speed 91.7 miles an hour, 92 I can see up on the screen, rounded. But it's going 34 yards in the air and 48 degrees descent angle from a miss hit. So it's just working. It really, really is. I like these, I really do. Let's go flick over to the 5-iron. Now the 5-iron is 25 degrees, so that's 2 degrees stronger. So 2/3 of a club when it comes to that. For the top end of the bag, stronger than what I've got my 5-iron, so it'd be interesting to see how the 5-iron performs. Let's go change the distance and flick over to the 5-iron. 5-iron now in hand, and 25 degrees generally speaking. This is where I am running from the hills of the iron side of things and jumping straight into my hybrid. We're at 185 yards away down the throat, and we have got multiple bits of water. Now, if these go on the green, again, any guys that are watching this, when you've got a 5-iron in hand on a par 3, If you can get that golf ball on the green, you are winning. Regardless of what handicap you are, if you get it on the green, you are winning. If you're a scratch handicapper, 185 yards, you get it on the green, you are winning. So the idea of this is to try and get as close to the green as you possibly can. Let's go swing it at a certain speed, or slower speed at least. Looks wise, before we go, just exactly the same as the 7, just with less loft. Just looks really, really good. Oh, shaft wise, before anyone cares, we've got this in the KBS Tour 120 stiff. Now, generally speaking, I like trying to keep everything as normal as I can. I'm generally speaking not shaft sensitive, so it doesn't really matter. But for the interest of continuity, KBS Tour 120 stiff. There we go. Right, what speed? Should we just dumb it down slightly, see how it goes? Going left. Normally happens when I slow my body down, my hands still want to go. It's good, really good. 175 yards of carry, decent strike. Just slightly across, slightly closed. Everything says, can you just go slightly that way? 28 yards in the air, 42 degrees ascent angle, at 86 miles an hour, whatever that was. I didn't get the exact point something, that will come up on the quad in a sec. It's just working really, really quite well. Now, again, my normal speed for one of these is around about 95-ish, 96 miles an hour, 95 miles an hour, 85.5. So I am 10 miles an hour also off my normal speed. And so 25 degrees will be high 190s, nearly 200 yard carry. So 175 yards is doing very, very well. And this green is mighty small. Let's go again. Should we go slightly slower? Oh dear, this could go ever so wrong. Left again. 82.7. Go on. Members bounce. That's doing really, really well. 170 yards, 168 yards carry, give or take. Come on, stop. This is the problem about going in shallower. Decent strike, fractionally high, but pretty good. And then everything says, yes, go slightly left again, path slightly across, face slightly across. My lie is slightly up because I'm dialing speed right down. There's hardly any deflection in the shaft that way through center of gravity. I won't bother you. But 82.7 miles an hour, 23 yards in the air, and 38 degrees descent angle. So yes, this is where you start seeing, with speed, if you're going to be swinging a 7-iron, 83 or so miles an hour, no different to what we did with the 7-iron swinging at, say, 77 or so, 78, you can get away with it. 6-iron, possibly also. But then if you add then the shaft length, the extra speed that you would gain from that, if you're going to swing a 5-iron at 83 miles an hour, descent angles are 38 degrees. That's going to be running a long way. And so 40 degrees is the kind of number that you really want to be looking at descending into and over for control. But just good. It just feels nice. It really does. I'm surprised as I'm messing around with speed that I'm fairly managing to control where it's going. Slightly off the bottom, slightly faster, but not too fast. There you go. Stop, stop. Stop. It should be okay. It should be okay now because the winter is coming. So 2 mil low, 4 mil heel, good delivery again, 178 yards carry, 26 yards in the air, 41 degrees ascent angle. So if you go to 86 miles an hour, that kind of delivery, 41 degrees, it will stop as it's, and these are fairly fast greens. Now, winter time, the fast greens are going to go, they're going to soften up and they're going to come in and they'll be a little bit more receptive. Summertime though, I'm going to really want to get some decent descent angling to make sure you can control these. But again, it's working. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit these all around the face and I'm going to try and have a go doing the pitching wedge 7-iron and 5-iron to see how forgiving these are. Now, I've hit a few shots so far which are a little bit awry because of my speed change and stuff that might give you an idea of these are pretty good when it comes to forgiveness. So let's go hit them all over the face, see how well the pitching wedge 5 and 7-iron do to see if this is something that you really should test to put in your bag. Let's go see how the Takomo 101T irons got on. I've tested the pitching wedge, 7-iron and 5-iron. Now I've got a lot of information, so I've changed the way I've done it. Now trying to make it a bit more concise, what I'm going to do, rather than going by shot by shot by shot, I will give you a load of information up on the screen there, which I've painstakingly spliced together from all the shots that I've hit as a selection to showcase the strengths and weaknesses when it comes to 101Ts. So this is the pitching wedge I've got on there, and you can see straight away the carry numbers run from 115 all the way up to around about 125. And so 10 yards difference, but you can see the spin rate. The spin rate on average is 9,000, but a standard deviation of only 345. Considering I am swinging these at different speeds, if I go to the club head side, which I've then added onto the carry next to the strike side of things, you can see my swing speed ranges from 88 miles an hour, 88.1, all the way down to 79.8. So we're nearly talking 10 miles an hour of difference when it comes to swing speed, yet the spin rates have retained a remarkable level of consistency. You can look at the strike differences. You've got 16 mil hills, you've got 5 mil highs, 9 mil lows, 10 mil lows. You've got some toe shots in there. There is some variation, shall we say, when it comes to strike, just to show the difference. The real thing that I can see with pitching wedge, especially, and any of these irons with loft, is the fact that the only really thing that's the real thing that's actually changing the distance that it's going is to how fast you're swinging it. The faster you swing, the further it goes. The slower you swing, the shorter it goes. But you can miss-hit it slightly and we'll move it around the face and deliver a face which is slightly this and slightly that, but absolutely get away with it. And it's remarkably good at actually hitting the number which your swing speed determines it should go. Let's go have a look at the 7-iron quickly. We'll do the same thing again. You can see by the carry differences there, I've got 168, 162, got 157, that'll be a miss hit, we'll have a look at that one, 159, 164, average of 162 anyway, and spinning at 5,800 with again 300 RPMs worth of standard deviation. If we flick over to the head side of it, the club head side of it, you can see I've got some strikes, some interesting ones, some 11 mil heel, 6 mil heel, 9 mil heel, 5 mil low, 10 mil low, 60 mil toe, 8 mil low. I've got quite a few different strikes in there, which obviously will dictate then a drop of efficiency, should we call it. 1.32 is the average efficiency, but you can see moving around a little bit, it goes up to 1.36 hit right out of the screws, and then it drops down dependent on what I do. It's doing extremely well at hitting the number, and a very, very good consistent number regardless of where I try and hit it around the face. If we have a look at a couple of ones specifically for the 7-iron, so you can have a little bit more of a graphical understanding of how well this 101T works. 11 mil low, 4 mil, 11 mil heel, 4 mil low, and face is 0.6 closed to a path, 1.3 from inside, little tiny baby draw, 1.31 efficiency. Just doing really, really well, considering 1.32 was the average. It's doing a really, really good job of a 15 mil gross heel biased strike at trying to hit a decent number. 162 yards is not bad from a 87.9 mile an hour clubhead speed. Hit there, it's done exceptionally well. If we have a look at a slightly low one, 8 mil low, 2 mil heel, so just basically slightly low on the face, 1.32, so it's hit its average and it's just doing good. There's nothing you can complain about really with these 101Ts. They're forgiving out the heel, they're forgiving low on the face as well. What are they like on the toe? 16 mil toe, 1 mil high, so quite toey. And 1.30 efficiency. Face and path are very 0-0, so it's a decent delivery to collect the information from, and it's going 30 yards in the air and 46.4 degrees ascent angle from a swing speed less than 87 miles an hour, 86.8. It's just doing really good. So you can hit it that far off, 16 mil toe, it's quite toey, and it still wants to come into a green and stop. It's just doing pretty good. If you go to the 5-iron now I've captured some information at different speeds on this one. Yes, I've captured one right at the very end, so ignore the bottom one as such. Again, I've hit one at my normal speed, so that's why it's going to be so much higher than the rest of them. But you can see you've got the average spin at 4,471 with, again, the standard deviation around about 300, which is quite consistent considering I'll be moving over the face and also delivering slightly different speeds. If we flick over to the clubhead side of things, so it gains a little bit more of an understanding of 12 mil heel, 7 mil low, 8 mil heel, 5 mil high, 13 mil toe, 7 mil toe. They're all got some decent strikes on there as well. Again, I've hit a lot of shots and I've spliced these together just to showcase what it's like. But it's just doing really, really good. Average efficiency is 1.37. You can see we got a 12mm heel, 7mm low right at the very top there. That drops to 1.33. But 19mm gross, heel and low biased is a hateful place on any golf club really to hit a golf shot. So, but it's doing really well considering. I'm actually quite impressed with these 101Ts, just how consistent they are. Two shots here just at the very end, just to sort of showcase what happens when you take speed off and change speed around. We've got one here, 85 miles an hour. This is a 5-iron, remember, so it's a full inch longer than the normal 7-iron, so that's why you gain a little bit more swing speed from a longer shafted golf club. But it's decent strike, 4mm high, 3mm heel. 174 yards of carry, efficiency 1.39, very, very good. Peaking height at 29 yards in the air and 43.6 degrees ascent angle. That is a 5-iron and that is doing really very, very well. I would say with these 101Ts that if you're swinging a 7-iron, high 70s, 80 mile an hour, you can play a full set of these most probably. If you're going to be going lower than that, then you're going to need to be stopping at say 6-iron and then going into something like a hybrid of something like that, or even more of a helpful version of this iron to try and encourage launch. No different to if you then dump speed down even lower than that into your sort of mid 70s. You are then start thinking about 7-iron may be your longest iron before you then have to do the transition. It's just speed dependent and that's just physics, unfortunately. If you have got a bit of speed, for the people out there who have got a bit of speed, and this one's 95 miles an hour, this is my normal speed. Decent strike, going 39 yards in the air and 48.4 degrees ascent angle. Again, efficiency is at 1.39. Efficiency is just a measure of bang for your buck, of quality of strike, etc. And so it doesn't matter how fast you swing, if you strike it well and deliver a decent dynamics, you'll get the same efficiency. So that's why we use efficiency as a measure of drop off rather than concentrating so much on swing speed. But it's doing really, really well. So the only concern I would have on these guys is the fact that from a very fast swing speed player, faster than me, the distance gaps between the irons may be slightly too big, because obviously you are going from a 46-degree pitching wedge all the way to a 25-degree 5-iron. It's fine, but it might be a fraction too much. That's why faster swing speeds generally gravitate towards a more traditional loft, so 4 degrees of lofts or so in between, so you don't get huge distance gaps. But they're absolutely fine, even for me, where I'm just talking extremely high swing speed players. These 101Ts are really very, very good. They're possibly one of my favourite direct-to-consumer manufacturer brands models, because they're plain looking. They're a lovely blade-like looking iron. It's just, and they don't have all these spoilers and cuts and sharp angles and cutouts and everything else that you do see sometimes on other manufacturers. Now again, that's very subjective. Some people really like the look of a very busy iron. I'm not a great fan of a very busy iron, so I look at these and I think they look really very, very nice. They clearly have help. They clearly perform very well. Are they market leading? No, let's be honest, they're not. Are they revolutionary? Again, no, they're not. And because it's direct-to-consumer manufacturer, and I will put up on the screen now, right now, how much you can buy them pounds-wise, for the UK at least, how much these are. And these are a really very, very good deal. But because of the fact that direct-to-consumer manufacturers haven't got the millions and millions that the premium manufacturers that have to spend on R&D, then they're not going to be the absolute best that you can buy right here, right now. But they are doing really very well. And if you're looking for bang for your buck, you're going to be struggling to beat something like this. The direct-to-consumer manufacturers nowadays, this is not just Takomo, but everyone, they're just doing really, really well when it comes to this kind of market. Now, for the guys that are talking about the difference between premium and direct-to-consumer, okay, premium is going to have a much more of an option when it comes to shafts, heads potentially, about what options you can have. Direct-to-consumer, you are going to be handcuffed a little bit more with the selection of composition of heads. Sometimes you're tied into having a 4-iron to pitching wedge, where sometimes you only want a 6-iron to pitching wedge because of speed, and so you're then tied by 2 golf clubs that you possibly don't need. Some offer 5 to pitching wedge as an option, but you kind of get the idea. And yes, you're not going to get the choice potentially when it comes to shafts that you are going to get from a premium manufacturer. But remember this, and this is what I always see it as. If you've got an individual that has only got £500 to £600 to spend on a set of irons, they were never going to get a premium set anyway. They were never going to have the sale from a premium manufacturer, because you are talking upwards of a lot more from a premium set of irons. So direct-to-consumer brands aren't hurting premium manufacturers at all. What they're really targeting towards is the second-hand market. So the guy that's got £500 to spend on a set of something, never going to go get a set of Callaways or Titleist or Mizunos or Srixons or TaylorMades or anything else like that. They were never going to bother them guys, but they were going to go on eBay, they were going to go on Marketplace, they were going to go on other internet sites that do second-hand equipment to spend the money on there. This direct-to-consumer market, which is getting bigger and bigger, gives them guys the potential, the possibility and the capability to get a semi-custom fit set of irons for the cost of a distinctly cheaper version of going down the premium route, of which they weren't going anyway, but at least they get a brand new version rather than having to get a second-hand set of irons. So, hope you liked the video. If you did, thumbs up. Go on YouTube, like so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. It's free and it's great for the channel if you could, so thank you. And next to that is a bell icon, that's a notification bell, and that will let you know if you click it next time I upload another video. So I hope you're well. We'll see you again soon.